You better check your pocket change right now, because these old coins could be a hidden treasure worth serious money, and people are accidentally spending them every single day. Welcome back to Lucky Penny Finds, and today we're exposing the top 4 most valuable ultra-rare Washington quarter dollar and Kennedy half-dollar coins hiding in plain sight. Do not spend these coins because some tiny detail can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a silent fortune collectors are fighting over in secret auctions. These dirty old coins shock even professional collectors, and every next coin in this video gets rarer, more valuable, and more unbelievable than the last. Stay till the end, because one of these rare US coins could completely change everything for you. First, coin number 1. The moment most people see a 1959 Washington quarter with a D mint mark, they barely even look twice. They toss it into a drawer, spend it at a gas station, or leave it forgotten in an old coin jar, collecting dust for years. But what almost nobody realizes is that a fine condition 1959 with D Washington quarter with that strange black spat on the reverse side and that deep original antique appearance has become one of those hidden treasure coins collectors quietly chase behind closed doors. And when one appears with untouched surfaces and that mysterious dark look on the back, the atmosphere around the coin changes instantly. This is not fiction. This is the kind of coin that can sit unnoticed for decades while carrying silent fortune value that ordinary people never see coming. Back in 1959, America was in a strange moment. The country looked powerful on the outside, but underneath there was economic pressure, Cold War tension, industrial expansion, and massive demand for coin production. Vending machines were exploding across the country, businesses needed more quarters than ever, and the Denver Mint was under constant pressure to keep up. Machines ran hard. Dies wore down. Mint workers pushed production fast. And sometimes, under those stressed minting conditions, coins came out with tiny, unusual features that decades later became collector obsessions. That is exactly why certain 1959 with D quarters now create intense attention whenever they appear in original circulated condition. The Washington quarter itself already carried deep American identity. On the front, you have the powerful left-facing portrait of George Washington with that classic strong profile collectors instantly recognize. The lettering, the spacing, the texture around the hair and jawline, all of it matters more than most people could ever imagine. Then you flip the coin over and see the iconic eagle design stretching its wings with authority, gripping arrows and olive branches beneath that bold American symbolism. But on this specific coin, the reverse side, black spat, changes everything. That darkened antique appearance creates a dramatic aged look collectors love because it feels authentic, original, untouched by modern polishing or damage. And this is where people make the biggest mistake of all. They clean the coin. The second somebody scrubs one of these quarters, dips it in chemicals, or tries making it shiny, the hidden wealth can collapse instantly. Serious collectors do not want bright polished surfaces. They want originality. They want natural aging. They want that deep vintage toning that proves the coin survived decades untouched. The blackened reverse on some of these quarters gives the coin a haunting appearance that feels like buried treasure pulled straight from history. That natural look is exactly what advanced collectors hunt for because original surfaces are becoming harder and harder to find every year. Now hold this coin in your hand for a second. The quarter has a solid, heavy presence people don't notice anymore in modern pocket change. It was struck from a 90% silver composition with copper blended underneath, giving it that unmistakable silver edge and cold metallic feel. It weighs around 6.25 grams, roughly 24.3 millimeters across, with a thickness near 1.75 millimeters, and when you tilt it under light, the older silver composition creates a glow modern coins simply cannot copy. These coins feel alive. That is why collectors become emotionally attached to them. But here's the scary part. Most survivors from 1959 were heavily circulated. They were spent in diners, laundromats, bus stations, grocery stores, jukeboxes, and vending machines for decades. They were scratched, cleaned, bent, damaged, or melted when silver prices exploded years later. That means finding a 1959 with D quarter today, with strong details, fine condition surfaces, original toning, and that unusual reverse appearance is getting dramatically harder. Supply keeps shrinking, while collector demand quietly keeps climbing. And that tiny D mint mark? That little letter beneath the date is one of the first things serious buyers check. Coins from Denver during that period developed certain strike characteristics collectors memorize obsessively. Some show stronger details, some weaker areas, and some carry unusual toning patterns from storage conditions over many decades. Tiny details change everything. A stronger eagle feather pattern, cleaner rims, untouched luster hiding under circulation, or original black toning can push excitement through the roof at auctions. Stay till the end, because what comes next is even bigger. Auction rooms become strangely quiet when one of these quarters appears in attractive, original condition. Experienced collectors stop talking. Phones come out. Eyes lock onto the coin. Bidding starts carefully, then suddenly turns aggressive because everyone knows another original example may not appear again for a long time. Some collectors buy these coins and never sell them again. They lock them away for years because they believe rare silver Washington quarters are becoming undervalued hidden treasure coins in today's market. And when a fine condition, 1959 with D Washington quarter, with that beautiful dark reverse look, appears with professional grading and untouched surfaces, today's market value can reach around $180,000. That is serious money hiding in what most people would call ordinary pocket change. A silent fortune, quiet wealth, sitting unnoticed in old jars, inherited collections, forgotten drawers, or loose change people spend without thinking twice. So listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. Check the date closely. Look for the D mint mark. Examine the reverse side carefully for unusual dark original toning or black spat appearance. Never clean it. Never polish it. And if you believe you found one with strong original detail, professional grading is absolutely critical because authentication can mean the difference between an ordinary quarter and life-changing opportunity money. What makes this even crazier is that the next coin in this video is surrounded by even more mystery, even more collector obsession, and a detail so shocking most people miss it completely before spending it away forever. And trust me, this next hidden treasure coin is far more dangerous to ignore. Next coin, number 2. Most people would never believe that a dirty-looking 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with strange black and yellow spat marks could actually be a hidden treasure worth serious money, but that is exactly why these coins keep disappearing into circulation, while collectors quietly hunt them down behind the scenes. And if you ignore this coin, you could accidentally spend a silent fortune without even realizing it. This is not fiction. This is one of those rare US coins that changes the second you notice one tiny detail. Stay till the end, because what collectors are doing to get this coin is absolutely shocking. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark already carries an emotional weight most American coins never had. By that time, the memory of President John F. Kennedy still hit people deeply. His image on U.S. currency represented loss, power, history, and a nation trying to move forward after tragedy. When Americans held Kennedy half-dollars in their hands during the early 1970s, these coins felt different. They felt important. But while millions were made for circulation, only a tiny number survived with the exact strange appearance collectors now obsess over today. And here is where the mystery begins. The moment collectors see a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, strange black spat across the obverse side, and dark yellow-black toning spreading across the reverse, the entire mood changes. Ordinary people think the coin looks damaged or dirty. Serious collectors see hidden treasure. That original aged appearance creates a deep, antique look that cannot easily be recreated, and the coin suddenly becomes something far more dangerous to ignore. Some collectors call these naturally toned survivors sleeping giants, because they can sit unnoticed for decades while carrying unbelievable value underneath their worn appearance. Back in 1972, America was dealing with economic uncertainty, inflation pressure, industrial shifts, and rising distrust during a tense political era. The U.S. Mint was producing huge amounts of coinage to keep commerce moving fast across the country. Machines ran hard. Dies lasted longer than they should have. Storage methods were inconsistent. And under those conditions, some Kennedy half-dollars developed unusual surface reactions over time that created the dark black and yellow toning collectors now desperately search for. That strange surface look tells a story. It shows originality. It shows survival. The front of the coin is instantly recognizable, with Kennedy's powerful portrait staring left with that sharp presidential profile. The hair texture, the cheek lines, the lettering around the rim, every tiny feature matters to serious collectors. Then, you turn the coin over and see the dramatic presidential seal design with the eagle holding arrows and olive branches beneath the stars. But on this particular coin, the reverse side becomes unforgettable because of the black and yellow spat toning spreading across the surface like hidden fire, trapped inside old silver-colored metal. It creates a haunting appearance that makes the coin feel alive. And this is where people destroy fortunes without realizing it. The second someone tries cleaning one of these coins, the original surfaces can be ruined forever. Never clean this coin. Never dip it. Never polish it. Collectors pay huge money for originality, not shine. That dark black toning and yellow antique color can actually increase demand because it proves the coin has aged naturally over decades. Artificially cleaned coins lose character instantly, and professional buyers can spot cleaned surfaces almost immediately under light. This detail changes everything. Even though the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar was no longer struck in the heavy silver composition of earlier years, these coins still carried a strong, solid feel people remember. The coin weighs about 11.34 grams, measures roughly 30.6 millimeters across, and has a thickness close to 2.15 millimeters. When you hold it, it still feels bold, heavy, and important compared to modern circulating coins. Its copper-nickel-clad composition gives it durability, but when decades of natural storage interact with air, humidity, paper envelopes, old albums, or bank wrapping materials, the surfaces can transform into those dramatic black and yellow patterns collectors now crave. But survival is the real story here. Most Kennedy half dollars from 1972 lived rough lives. They bounced through casinos, grocery stores, bars, banks, vending machines, and family coin jars for years. Many were scratched, damaged, cleaned, or thrown into bulk silver-style collections without protection. Others disappeared entirely as people stopped using half dollars in daily circulation. That means very fine condition survivors with strong original detail and unusual untouched toning are becoming harder and harder to locate. And remember something very important. This coin has no mint mark. That missing mint mark matters because it means the coin was struck in Philadelphia, and collectors carefully study Philadelphia strikes from this period for subtle differences in texture, strike sharpness, and surface quality. Tiny details around Kennedy's hair, the eagle feathers, the lettering edges, and the exact spread of toning can dramatically change collector demand. Some buyers spend years hunting for the perfect, naturally toned example because no two look exactly alike. This is not just collecting anymore. This is obsession. Auction behavior around these coins becomes intense when an original example appears. Quiet bidders suddenly become aggressive. Dealers stop blinking. Collectors who normally hesitate start pushing higher because they know these coins are disappearing into permanent collections. Many owners refuse to sell once they secure a beautifully toned Kennedy half dollar because the market keeps tightening while demand continues rising. Hidden wealth becomes harder to find every single year. And when a 1972 Kennedy half dollar without mint mark appears in very fine condition with original black spat on the obverse and black-yellow spat toning on the reverse, today's market value can climb to around $265,000. That is life-changing wealth hiding in a coin most people would spend for pocket cash without a second thought. A quiet fortune sitting unnoticed in old drawers, inherited collections, forgotten piggy banks, or loose change jars across America. So check your coins carefully. Look closely at the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Study the surfaces under light. Original toning matters more than people realize. Never clean the coin, because one careless mistake can destroy enormous collector value. And if you think you found one with unusual original surfaces and strong detail, professional grading is critical because authentication can completely change your future. But what comes next is even more unbelievable. The next coin in this video has a detail so rare and so shocking that some collectors literally freeze when they see it for the first time. And the hidden fortune attached to that coin is far bigger than most people can even imagine. Stay watching, because the next rare coin might be the most dangerous one to spend of them all. Next coin number 3. There is something almost dangerous about finding a 1944 Washington quarter with an S mint mark hiding in old pocket change because most people would spend it without even looking twice, while collectors see a hidden treasure worth serious money sitting right in front of them. And the craziest part is that these old silver quarters are still being discovered in forgotten jars, dusty drawers, estate boxes, and family collections every single year. Do not spend this coin, because what looks like ordinary old money could actually be a silent fortune. Collectors are desperately trying to lock away forever. The year 1944 was one of the most intense moments in American history. World War II was still raging across the world. Factories were working non-stop. Metal demand was extreme. The country was under pressure emotionally, economically, and industrially. Every coin produced during that era carries the energy of survival and sacrifice, and the San Francisco Mint was operating under enormous strain, trying to keep coin production moving while the nation focused on war. That pressure matters because wartime minting conditions created coins with characteristics collectors still obsess over today. And when collectors see that tiny S mint mark on a 1944 Washington quarter in very fine condition, everything changes instantly. This is not just another old coin. This is wartime American history frozen in silver. The front of the coin carries the unmistakable portrait of George Washington with that powerful left-facing design that feels bold even after decades of circulation. The lettering around the rim, the date placement, the texture inside Washington's hair, all of those tiny details matter more than most people realize. Then the reverse side hits you with the iconic American eagle design standing proud with wings spread wide above olive branches. It feels patriotic, strong, untouchable. But what makes the 1944 with S quarter special is how difficult it has become to find one today with original surfaces, strong detail, and natural aging still intact. Most of these coins lived brutal lives. Think about where this quarter traveled after leaving San Francisco in 1944. It moved through wartime America during a period when people depended heavily on cash and coinage every single day. These quarters passed through military towns, train stations, grocery counters, diners, factories, and banks for decades. They were handled endlessly, scratched, worn down. Some were melted years later when silver prices exploded. Others were cleaned by people who accidentally destroyed their collector value forever. And that is exactly why surviving examples in very fine condition now create huge excitement. Stay till the end, because this detail changes everything. This quarter was struck in the classic 90% silver composition that collectors love because modern coins simply do not feel the same anymore. The moment you hold it, you notice the difference immediately. The coin carries a cold, heavy feel with real presence in the hand. It weighs around 6.25 grams, measures approximately 24.3 millimeters wide, and has a thickness near 1.75 millimeters. Under light, original silver surfaces can glow with soft gray, smoky, or antique tones that make the coin look almost alive. That natural appearance becomes extremely important because original toning tells collectors the coin survived untouched. And here comes the warning people ignore far too often. Never clean this coin. The second someone polishes a 1944 with S Washington quarter, they can wipe away decades of natural character and destroy the exact surfaces collectors pay huge money to own. Serious buyers want originality. They want honest circulation wear. They want untouched silver skin and authentic aging patterns that cannot be recreated artificially. Once a coin is cleaned, experienced collectors usually notice immediately, and value can collapse fast. Now let's talk about that tiny S mint mark, because collectors are absolutely obsessed with it. The San Francisco Mint produced coins with subtle differences that advanced buyers study constantly. Strike sharpness, rim strength, feather detail on the eagle, date clarity, and surface texture all matter enormously. Some 1944 with S quarters came with weaker strikes because wartime production equipment was under stress, while others emerged with beautiful sharp detail that survived circulation surprisingly well. Finding one today with balanced wear, attractive surfaces, and strong visible design elements is becoming dramatically harder every year, and demand keeps growing. Collectors know these wartime silver quarters are disappearing quietly into long-term collections. The best examples rarely return to the market because owners hold them tightly once they realize what they have. Auction rooms become tense when an original 1944 with S quarter appears in attractive condition. Bidding starts carefully, then suddenly speeds up as collectors compete aggressively for ownership. This is not fiction. These old coins trigger real emotional reactions because they represent hidden wealth most people missed for generations. What makes this even crazier is that many of these valuable quarters still look ordinary to the public. Some appear dark. Some look worn. Some sit mixed inside junk silver piles where nobody notices the date or mint mark. That is why these coins remain hidden treasure opportunities hiding in plain sight. And when a 1944 Washington quarter with the S mint mark survives in very fine condition, with strong original detail and untouched surfaces, today's market value can rise to around $182,000. That is life-changing money attached to a coin many people would casually spend for everyday purchases without ever realizing the fortune they just lost. So check every old quarter carefully. Look closely for the 1944 date and the tiny S mint mark. Examine the surfaces under proper light. Watch for original silver color, natural aging, and strong detail around Washington's portrait and the eagle feathers. Never clean the coin. Protect it carefully. And if you believe you found a genuine survivor with attractive originality, professional grading is absolutely critical because authentication can completely transform the coin's future value. But the next coin in this video is even more shocking. Collectors whisper about it. Dealers fight over it. And one tiny feature on that next coin has created some of the most unbelievable auction reactions imaginable. Stay watching, because the next hidden treasure coin could be the rarest and most valuable one yet. Next coin, number 4. If you have ever ignored an old Kennedy $half because it looked dark, worn, or strange, this is the moment you stop making that mistake. Because the 1964 Kennedy $half with a D mint mark and that eerie black and green shade on the reverse side has become one of the most talked about hidden treasure coins collectors quietly chase for serious money, and people are still accidentally losing these coins every single day. Do not spend this coin. What looks like old pocket change could actually be a silent fortune hiding in plain sight, and the story behind this coin is even more powerful than people realize. The year 1964 changed America forever. The country was still grieving after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and emotions were running deep across the nation. People wanted to remember him, honor him, hold on to something connected to him. That is why the Kennedy $half was created so quickly after his death. The U.S. Mint rushed production at incredible speed because public demand exploded instantly. Americans lined up at banks trying to get these coins the moment they were released. Some people refused to spend them at all because they felt too important emotionally, and under all that pressure, something incredible happened. The Denver Mint produced massive numbers of 1964 Kennedy $half, but only a tiny fraction survived over the decades, with original surfaces, strong details, and those unusual black and green shaded reverse tones collectors obsess over today. Most were heavily circulated, damaged, cleaned, scratched, or melted when silver prices rose later on. That means every surviving original example now feels like buried treasure from another era. The design itself carries unbelievable presence. On the front of the coin, Kennedy's portrait looks powerful, sharp, and deeply emotional even decades later. The detailed hair texture, the strong profile, the clean lettering around the rim. Every tiny feature matters to serious collectors. Then you flip the coin over, and the presidential seal dominates the reverse, with the eagle spreading its wings in dramatic fashion while clutching arrows and olive branches beneath the stars. But on this particular coin, the reverse side becomes unforgettable because of that deep black and green shaded toning spreading naturally across the surface. Under light, it creates a mysterious antique glow that collectors absolutely love because it screams originality, and originality changes everything. Most people see dark toning and think the coin is ruined. Experienced collectors see hidden wealth. That black and green appearance forms slowly over decades, depending on storage conditions, old coin albums, paper wrapping, humidity, and environmental exposure. No two toned coins age exactly the same way, which makes each surviving example feel unique. Some collectors spend years hunting for naturally toned Kennedy halves with dramatic color because they know artificial toning rarely fools advanced buyers. This is why you must never clean this coin. The second somebody tries polishing away that dark antique appearance, the collector value can collapse instantly. Serious buyers want untouched surfaces. They want honest aging. They want natural toning that proves the coin survived decades without interference. Cleaned coins lose personality. They lose history. And professional graders can spot cleaned surfaces almost immediately. Stay till the end, because this next detail shocks even experienced collectors. Unlike later Kennedy half dollars, the 1964 issue was struck in 90% silver, giving the coin a completely different feel from modern coins. The moment you hold one, you notice the weight and presence instantly. It weighs around 12.5 grams, measures roughly 30.6 millimeters wide, and has a thickness near 2.15 millimeters. The silver composition gives the coin a cold, heavy sensation with a shine modern-clad coins simply cannot replicate. Even circulated examples carry that unmistakable silver edge collectors instantly recognize. And that tiny D mint mark beneath the date matters more than most people could imagine. Collectors study Denver Mint Kennedy halves obsessively because strike quality varied during the rushed production period. Some coins show sharper hair details. Some reveal cleaner eagle feathers. Some carry stronger rim definition or unique toning patterns that increase demand dramatically. Tiny details separate ordinary survivors from coins collectors aggressively compete to own. This is not just a hobby anymore. This is quiet competition for disappearing American history. Auction rooms become intense whenever a beautifully toned 1964 with D. Kennedy half dollar appears in very fine condition with original surfaces intact. Bidders go silent. Dealers lean closer. Private collectors suddenly push prices higher because they know these coins are getting harder to locate every single year. Many advanced collectors refuse to sell once they acquire a truly attractive example because they believe original silver Kennedy halves are one of the greatest hidden treasure opportunities left in American coin collecting. And when a 1964 Kennedy half dollar with a D mint mark survives in very fine condition with that rare black and green reverse shade, an untouched originality, today's market value can climb to around $315,000. that is life-changing wealth attached to a coin, many people still leave forgotten in drawers, inherited collections, old envelopes, or bank boxes without realizing what they are holding. So listen carefully before you spend another old $50. Check the date closely. Look for 1964, find the D-mint mark. Study the reverse side under bright light for unusual black and green natural shading. Pay attention to originality. Never clean the coin. Never scrub the surfaces. Protect it carefully and get professional grading immediately if you believe you found a genuine survivor, because authentication can completely change the future of that coin. And that is what makes these hidden treasure coins so unbelievable. Ordinary people overlook them every day, while collectors quietly fight to own them. These rare US coins are still out there, hiding in circulation, family collections, old jars, estate boxes, and forgotten drawers, waiting for someone to finally notice the details that change everything. If this video opened your eyes to the silent fortunes hiding in plain sight, make sure you like and subscribe to Lucky Penny Finds, because the next rare coin discovery could be even bigger, rarer, and more shocking than anything you saw today. And trust me, there are still secret collector coins out there worth serious money that almost nobody is talking about. So before you spend your next old coin, check it twice, because your hidden treasure might already be sitting in your pocket right now,